Yo, can you guys hear me? What's going on, GZTV? Back with another one. I know it's a little early, but I have like Thanksgiving and stuff today, so I'm just gonna get a bunch of videos out right now. We have 3 videos. I might stream 2K for like an hour or two. I don't think so though. I'll probably just play a lot of 2K over there. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna stream today though. It's Thanksgiving. I'm taking a day off from the streaming, but the videos are here. We have to talk about The Walking Dead, season 5, episode 3. We have to talk about Final Destination 2 because that's the movie I watched yesterday, 2 days a week. As you guys know, we watch movies on the channel. I need to close this drawer. My bad. Alright. Let's just get into the plot and the critical reception for this Walking Dead episode, and then we can move on with the other videos. So Gareth and the other remaining Terminus members taunt Bob as they eat his leg, which is fucking gross, but that's kind of like the reality of it all. I guess eventually people have to become, they probably have to become cannibals eventually, but I mean, these people are just doing it because they're ruthless, they're fucking evil, I don't know. Gareth expresses his anger towards Carol, who killed his mother, and states that they saw Carol and Daryl drive off together as they were approaching the church. So, yeah. Who knows where Carol and Daryl have been? They weren't revealed this episode. I think they're still chasing Beth down, I'm assuming. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting storyline. Hopefully they kind of wrap that one up soon. I can't wait to see kind of like what happens to those characters. They had planned to capture and eat Rick and the rest of his group, but Gareth says Bob will do just fine. For now, Bob can just be there. I mean, he's probably too fucking scared to go after Rick in the first place. I need to shave, bro. I don't even have my buzzer here. I left it at college. Bob starts laughing and tells them that he was bitten the previous day and that he's tainted meat and like his body's infected. I don't know what would happen if they eat his meat because he is infected. I don't know if they'll turn or anything, but it's kind of gross. You'll probably get sick, honestly. I don't know. You probably won't die and become a zombie because of you eating the meat just because you're sick. It's just because it's like sick. It's fucking probably, I don't know. It's fucking disgusting. The Terminus group starts panicking, fearing they will turn, which I don't think that's how that works. We haven't really seen that happen in this show. We haven't had fucking cannibals yet. We're not even that far into the apocalypse for that to be the case. But Gareth knocks out Bob to stop his hysterical laughter. Like Bob's kind of rubbing it in, and Gareth has kind of had enough, so he kind of like knocks him out. This is a pretty big time episode. A lot of crazy shit happened, so let's just keep going. So at the church, as they realize that Bob, Carol, and Daryl are missing, Sasha confronts Father Gabriel about their whereabouts. Like, what did you do to them? Do you have something to do with this? What have you been hiding from us? Because the group kind of, again, over the last couple of episodes, the group has had suspicions of Father Gabriel and what he's possibly up to. So he definitely has stuff to hide and whatnot. Gabriel cannot answer, but this leads to Rick questioning him about the fate of his congregation. Like, what happened to all of his people? You're in here at church by yourself. You don't have any church mates that go to church here with you? I don't know. You're kind of like a priest. You should probably help these people out. Right. Gabriel is forced to admit that when the apocalypse started, he had locked his congregation out of the church and allowed them to be killed by walkers. So that's kind of what he's hiding for now. Obviously, the group knows that he's involved with more things, but he just has this guilt. And when he told the group he's a sinner, this is probably like the major thing he was talking about, locking the group out and letting them die and kind of being selfish. But man, it's kind of fucked up, really. I don't know. But, yeah, the group hears a noise outside and finds Bob there, having been left there by the Terminus group. So they just kind of throw him outside, and they like mark the church with something, and they just ran away, I guess. Bob tells them about his bite mark, Gareth and Carol and Daryl's absence, and Gareth's presence nearby. So he makes it known to everybody that he has a bite mark, and that he's probably going to turn soon. But they ate his meat, so they might turn as well. I don't know if he told them about them eating him. I'm not. I think they might have actually, but yeah, he's like Gareth is nearby, so yeah. Rick wants to stay until Carol and Daryl return, but Abraham refuses to risk Eugene's life. He can't just have him hold in this place while these people are like attacking them. They're like a threat, so he doesn't want Gareth to be put in harm's way. Obviously, he has to get him to DC to like exfoliate like reveal the cure, put it into action, enforce it. I don't know. Glenn convinces Abraham to stay 12 more hours and promises to leave with him should Carol and Daryl not return by then. Which kind of sucks because we kind of want to see Glenn with the core group that he actually has been living with for damn near the whole apocalypse. But yeah. The group prepares to defend against Gareth, and Sasha instructs Tyrese to watch Bob and prepare to stab his head with a knife should he die, because obviously it's like putting them out of their misery. We've kind of discussed this before. You don't want them to turn, right? So at night, Rick and some of the group leave to search for Gareth, but Gareth and his group are hiding nearby. They're like spying out the church. They're like, oh, they're leaving with guns. This is our time to attack. But I think this is all like a plan to like get them, lure them into the church, right? They break into the church while Rick's group is out of sight, but Rick and the others were lying in wait and return. So yeah, they pretty much like use this excuse of like, oh, we're gonna go get some supplies, and they end up coming back to the church. 2 of the Terminus members are killed before Rick and the others hold Gareth and the others at gunpoint. So the rest of the group of Terminus is in harm's way. They already killed 2 of the guys. Not major characters or anything, but yeah. So Gareth begs for mercy, promising not to eat any more of Rick's group. Like, dude, you already ate some of his fucking group. You should probably take the punishment. I don't fucking know. Rick tells him that if they don't feed on his friends, they will find someone else to feed on, and they don't want to do that. He's kind of proving like humans are more dangerous than the actual undead. Rick reiterates his previous vows to Gareth, stating that he has already made him a promise, and proceeds to kill him. So Gareth dies. Most of the members of Terminus die. So Rick, Sasha, Michonne, and Abraham slaughter the remaining Terminus group, much to the aghast of others and to Gabriel's anguish due to the carnage occurring in the Lord's house. He's like, you killed them in the Lord's house? How dare you? This is a sin. Maggie reminds him that the church is just 4 walls and a roof. It's a sanctuary. Home is home. Michonne recovers her stolen katana from the body. So they stole her katana, she takes it back, and now she's back to being this iconic swordswoman, I guess. So Bob survives until the morning, where the group says their goodbyes to him. He's been really good to them. He's a good guy. He's done some pretty stupid things with this group, but all in all, Bob was a really good character, and he had to go eventually. I mean, but he went out in a good way. He dies in Sasha's arm before Tyrese stabs him. Sasha, being his loved one, not being able to really carry this out, but yeah. Bob is buried with Gabriel's other parishioners. So he's buried in the church, kind of beautiful there, kind of wholesome. Abraham prepares to set out with Eugene, Rosita, Glenn, Maggie, and Tara, so they have a pretty damn good group on them. Abraham gives Rick a map of their route to Washington, D.C. As they leave, Rick sees that Abraham left an encouraging message to Rick to follow as soon as they can. Maybe they can meet back up in D.C. That evening, Michonne is talking to Gabriel, who is still distressed about the violence he saw. And at this point, it's not like I wasn't intrigued with the episode, but at this point I was kind of like zoning out. I need to stop doing that. I don't know what I was doing, but Michonne hears a noise in the nearby bushes, and Daryl appears. Michonne asks him about Carol, and Daryl turns to a nearby bush and instructs someone to come out. So Daryl and Carol are back into the camp, the church, all is well. Looking at the reception, Lawrence Gilliard, playing Bob, and Andrew J. West playing as Gareth, obviously made their final appearances from 4 Walls and a Roof as series regulars. Obviously, Bob, Stookie, Gareth. I don't really care about who watched this episode. What are we doing here? An A grade on the AV Club, 8.6 out of 10 on IGN. The episode once again showed us what a powerful force Rick Group can be by having them pretty much annihilate Gareth's posse in one fell swoop. Everyone's on the same page morality-wise, and their fighting skills are far unrivaled, which is why it's frustrating to see them get cut in half and split off into 2 separate storylines at the end. I mean, it's understandable that the show can't realistically handle such a giant ensemble always being together in one spot, but you wish you'd bought one of the reasons for the split. I don't know. This was another effective pulpy episode and a good illustration of the ways The Walking Dead has improved itself over time. The church massacre, I appreciate both the writers and that the writers didn't keep the cannibals around as a long-term threat and an excuse for wallowing in the sadism of what they do, even if Gareth doesn't see it that way, and that Rick didn't turn out to be nearly as stupid as they wanted him to seem when he led most of the good fighters away from the church when that was so obvious what Gareth wanted. That was so obvious that what Gareth wanted him to do. The massacre of the remaining Terminus was brutal and illustrated how cold and rough Rick can be when you push him to his point. Yeah, pretty good episode. I don't really have much to say. I got to talk about Final Destination and some NBA recap stuff, and then I'm probably just going to lay in my bed until I have to get ready for Thanksgiving. I woke up at 7:45 this morning, guys. I fell asleep at like 2, so I'm off of like 5 or 6 hours of sleep. Not really that good on Thanksgiving, but I'm out here grinding for you boys. I'm going to be able to take a little bit of a nap after this, so that's good. Football comes on at 12, so we got to be over there by then. But yeah, have a good rest of your day. Holy shit, my eyes are fucking killing me. Have a good rest